Say hello to the third vehicle on the MQB A0iN platform and the first car. This is the Skoda Slavia. Now we've seen enough and more pictures of camouflage Slavias being tested all over the country, but this camouflage is something new. Skoda ran a contest and the winner of the contest got their design to be plastered over the cars that we've actually driven. So in this video, we will talk to you about how the Slavia rides, how it handles. We will not tell you anything about the styling because it is all under embargo. And as for the interiors, I can't tell you anything. In fact, there will be no shots of me inside the car because that has been completely embargoed, and in any case, the interiors are completely camouflaged. So I can't tell you anything about the interiors, save for the fact that it does get a digital cockpit. Apart from that, everything is under the embargo. So if you like this video, give us a thumbs up. Remember to subscribe to the Evo India channel, hit the bell icon to stay notified for our video drops, and let's dive right into what will be a very important car. A car to take on the Honda City, the Hyundai Verna and the Maruti Suzuki Ciaz. Now let me tell you stuff that will actually go into this video. The first is size. As you can see, the Slavia is big. It is exactly 316 mm longer than the Kushaq. It is 4.5 meters in length. In terms of width, it is almost the same as the Kushaq, and the height is lower. This, after all, is a sedan. It runs on 16-inch tires. The Kushaq runs on 17-inch tires, and that really is the only difference between the Kushaq. But overall, this is a big car. Let me give you another frame of reference. The Slavia is bigger than the first generation Octavia that came to India. And remember that Octavia, that changed everything, the entire perception about accessible European luxury. With the Slavia, Skoda hope to do the same, and they are going to take on the meat of the market, the Honda City, the Hyundai Verna, the Maruti Suzuki Ciaz. Remember, the sedan segment hasn't really been doing rocking volumes because the market is SUV obsessed. But Skoda, they are so confident about the Slavia. Their projections are actually very close to the Kushaq. They say that with the Slavia styling and the package that it offers, they hope to reignite interest in the sedan segment. The Kushaq's powertrains are carried over on the Slavia. So you get the 1-liter TSI engine, makes 113.5 bhp, and you get the 4-cylinder 1.5 TSI engine that makes 148 bhp. Both get the option of automatic transmission. So the 1-liter gets the 6-speed torque converter, whereas the 1.5, it gets the twin-clutch automatic gearbox. Now, how do they perform? Let's start with the 1-liter engine. This is an enthusiastic little motor. It sounds good, it performs well. The automatic gearbox also, it suits the character of the car well, and it really leads to a fun, sporty driving experience. Of course, the 1.5 engine, it has got more torque, it is more refined, it has got that ease with which you can really pull solid speeds on the highway. But the 1-liter engine, that is the one that has been heavily localized in India. That is the one that leads to the 95% localization content of the Slavia. That will also be more affordable, and that engine is a solid amount of fun. It is made into a chassis that is also similarly enthusiastic. We don't normally do this in our first drive videos, but this is different. We don't normally do cover drive reviews either. So let's talk to the people behind the Slavia. We have with us Zach Hollis, who's the brand director for Skoda. Zach, what was the one thing that was really difficult to get right on the Slavia?
I think with the Slavia, what we had to get right was that pure essence of a Skoda sedan. We have a history in India of 20 years of sedans, starting back in 2001 with the Octavia and of course the Rapid and the Super. And we had to get that right. And what we have, I promise you, is an absolutely gorgeous car that looks like a Skoda, feels like a Skoda and drives like a Skoda.
Why a sedan? Because that segment, really buyers are not flocking to it. There's not that much interest in it compared to an SUV. Why a sedan, and why are you so bullish on a sedan?
They're not flocking to it because there's nothing new. If you look at often these segments like the SUV segment, they're boosted and they grow by new competitors coming in. New competitors have something new to talk about, they attract new people. And we've not seen anything really new coming into the sedan segment. No new entrants have come in. And by us bringing this in here as a premium mid-size sedan, and I promised you already, it will look gorgeous. This will bring people back into the segment and make people look once again in the segment. So we're very confident about this car. We're confident that this car become the segment leader in India.
So segment leader means you're going to take on the Honda City, which has been the segment leader for like really, really long, right?
We will be the segment leader. That's our target, that's our plan.
You don't have a diesel. Now, obviously, the entire group in India does not have diesel. Does that affect you negatively because the other rivals, they do have diesels?
I don't think so. I'm actually pretty convinced it doesn't. And the reason I say that is because if you take a car like Superb, where we only have the petrol, we have 30% segment share, and we're actually selling more Superb than we were when we had petrol and diesel combined before. So clearly there was a market out there, particularly in sedans, for petrol, and we're very confident with the TSI engines that we've got on this car, which are already loved from the Kushaq, that we won't miss diesel at all.
You've spoken about the styling. Obviously, we can't show our viewers what the actual car looks like. But apart from the styling, 5 things that you really love about the Slavia, which will actually make it the market leader.
I think safety, we will bring all the safety features that you come from Kushaq also into the Slavia. I think I must talk about styling. You said not to, but I must talk about styling. The car is absolutely gorgeous. It's absolutely beautiful. It's an amazing looking car. We will also bring that thrill and that driving dynamics into this segment. And we have tuned the engines differently to the Kushaq. So the engines will behave differently. They'll be more suited to the sedan style of driving. The last thing I think is we have a big car. This car is bigger than the first generation Octavia into India. Not only is it longer, it's wider and it's taller. And I think this is one of the things that we bring to this segment. And this is why I believe this car will be successful.
So we have to jump into what the back seat is like on the Slavia. So let's get in over there.
Absolutely. Okay.
So let me show you what the Slavia, actually, well, I can't show you what the back seat is like because all that is under embargo. So I can't tell you how comfortable it is at the back or how spacious it is or whether you can tuck in your feet under the front seat or even if you can recline and stretch out really nicely at the back or even if the seats are actually supportive at the back. So let's dive into the one aspect of the Slavia that I really, really like, and that is the ride and handling. Ideally, we should be doing all of this from behind the wheel because this is the biggest strength of the MQB A0 Iron platform. The way it can really take on Indian roads and deliver both on the ride quality front as well as the handling front. Now, the MQB A0 Iron platform, as you've seen with the Kushaq, is torsionally very rigid. In fact, it is more rigid than the platform that has been used for the Rapid and the Polo and all of that. So that lets engineers put on slightly softer dampers, which actually delivers a really good ride, both in the city at slow speeds and even out on the highway, on the expressway at high triple-digit speeds. Even if you encounter little bumpy and wavy surfaces, there is no float, there is no wallow. It takes it all in its stride. And on your regular commute within the city with all the bad roads, this just flattens everything. The ride is really brilliant and it sets a new benchmark in this segment. Plus, there is the handling. Now, throw it around a set of twisties at high speeds, and there is a noticeable amount of body roll because the dampers are a little softer, but there is good grip, there is good bite. The front end, it is responsive. It really is eager. You throw it into a bend, and it handles really like a joy. In fact, it handles better than the Kushaq because the center of gravity, it is lower, this is lower, and it is such a joy to be back to reviewing a proper sedan. After all these SUVs that we've been testing over these past months, to finally drive a proper sorted sedan, it is really, really pleasing. And that tells you that, no, it's crazy. Why are we so mad about SUVs? When a car, it can deliver in terms of ride quality, in terms of handling, it can go over speed breakers, it doesn't touch over anything. Buy a car! Seriously, buy a car! So verdict on the Slavia. Now, if Skoda can price this well, and remember in this segment, neither the City nor the Verna are super aggressively priced, and that's also the reason why there's not so much interest in this segment because there haven't been many new cars of late. But if Skoda can price this right, and if they can position this perfectly, this has the potential to rekindle buyer interest in proper sedans, and that honestly is a very good thing. Enough of SUVs. We need sedans to come back.